Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I hope we're all doing okay today on this it's Halloween, isn't it? 31st of November October. And today I'm going to be talking about Arsenal FC. Obviously they are absolutely flying right now, and as you can see on here, they are on 31 points after 12 games, winning 10, drawing and losing 1, and there's only one other team after 11 games to have more than 28 points and not win the league, and that was Newcastle. I feel like I've been dogging on them a little bit recently, but to show that Arsenal are on 28 points after 11 games and there's only one team to be on that many and not win the Premier League title surely means that Arsenal now are confirmed to be a Premier League title contender, and it's something that has been surprising because obviously I had a look at my predictions, which I don't like doing, but I was curious to where I put them, and I did put them fifth in the predictions. And you'd say if they were to finish fifth right now, then that would be a complete collapse and an absolute shocker from Mikel Arteta. And you think from now, if they do finish out the top four, then questions need to be said, because obviously finishing eighth twice in a row, then fifth, and then fifth again, is it a bit too long for him now? But that's like the worst case scenario, isn't it? But if you haven't already, please can you go and subscribe to the channel, and you like as well, little thing as well, notifications, like I've not said before. I'm sure you put the notifications on if you want. I don't usually do, but if you would like to do it, be the first to like it or comment below, that'd be much appreciated. But like I said, yeah, if Arsenal continue with this form, it's obvious that they're going to finish at least in the top two, isn't it? Man City, the only team sort of close to them at the minute, and the only games where they sort of played poorly was against United and Southampton the other day. But I think that was more of a case of the amount of games, like I've said a lot this season, and being a new channel on here, this season alone, I've realised how many games there are every single day. I seem to have like another point to talk about, another game. But as we go into this one, obviously Arsenal won 5-0 against Nottingham Forest. And as you can see, the team here, you've got Aaron Ramsdale in there, obviously, yeah. Tomiyasu, Benjamin White, I don't know why I said Benjamin, Saliba, who's been a rock at the back, a surprise really, because obviously Arteta, something must have happened there. Gabriel as well, who's comfortable next to him. Xhaka, who's found a new lease of life in a more advanced role. Thomas Partey, who I will speak about in a second. An absolute Rolls Royce of a player. I found that difficult to say before the video. I was like, Rolls Royce. You got Martin Odegaard, captain at 24 years old. Goes without saying, doesn't it? I mean, he showed his potential finally. Martinelli, who again under Mikel Arteta was in and out of the team, and he's now finding the form this season. He got the first goal, and it was obvious that he was one of the front three was going to score. Saka, who we'll go on to discuss about in a second, because obviously he went off. And Gabriel Jesus, who's in a 5-0 win. You would expect Gabriel Jesus to be in the scores, but it hasn't really worked for him as lately in the sort of the scoring department. Obviously, the rest of his game is something that we didn't expect at Arsenal this season. His hold-up play, his turning in behind play. We saw a different sort of side of him at Manchester City, apart from his first season there, where we found the new Arsenal Jesus, whereas, maybe he wasn't getting the right position or the right game time under Pep. He's really found himself at Arsenal, hasn't he, under Mikel Arteta. And 69% possession in this game, and only 1-0 at half-time, interestingly enough. And obviously, the perfect start with, like I said, Martinelli scoring. It was like obvious, weren't it, that Arsenal were going to score. And I think that's a sign of how Arsenal are right now. I think even last season, Arsenal wouldn't have won this game, because obviously Forest found themselves a little bit over the last few games. Steve Cooper getting the contract in and winning against Liverpool, a massive result at home to Liverpool. And this especially in the second half, I'll quickly talk about Forest right now. They did look extremely poor. I will say that. I think that whatever Mikel Arteta said to the Arsenal team, or whatever Steve Cooper said to the Forest team, worked for Arsenal and was very abject for Forest. They looked very, very poor in that second half, conceding 4 goals And to win 5-0 for Arsenal in any game in the Premier League is huge. And it seems to me that this is the sort of win that title contenders at least get in at home. And there's three more games left till the World Cup. And it's almost becoming, you almost don't want the World Cup to happen if you're an Arsenal fan. And I'm sure you'll agree as well. Whoever's an Arsenal fan listening to this, you almost want the momentum to carry on, and this World Cup could stunt that. And just after the World Cup is a key moment for so many teams, like Liverpool, say, who are doing really poor right now, Chelsea, who are sort of doing okay, United, who have found their feet finally, Tottenham seems to stick around somehow because they haven't played great football, like I said in a couple of channels ago, videos ago. And obviously City are City, aren't they? They just cling, like they'll never let go, will they, under Pep? And another big thing I say, obviously, like I said on here, Reece Nelson came on, scored twice and got an assist, but that was because Bukayo Saka got injured, and we're all sort of hoping, praying that he is fine for the World Cup. Obviously, we're only 3 weeks away. Hopefully, it's just a bit of a knock rather than a bit more of a sinister injury, like a hamstring or like a leg muscle injury. We were hoping it's more of like a knock or a precaution more than anything. And I think that not just Arsenal fans, but England fans as well are praying for that. And, you know, as one person comes off, the sliding door effect happens. And I feel like Reece Nelson's been at Arsenal for years now, for at least 5 years. Gone to Hoffenheim on loan, gone to another team in Germany on loan as well. And I think he's really, I don't want to be too, I don't want to praise him too much because there's another person I want to speak about who's playing a lot better than him in the game against Forest. But, credit's due to Reece Nelson finally arriving in the Premier League. That's his first and second Premier League, goal in the Premier League. And I think I didn't even realize he was still at Arsenal until he came up on the score sheet. And it's good to see. I finally someone showing potential and fulfilling that potential, at least for this game alone. But finally, what I will say is one player, Thomas Partey, like I said before, is a Rolls Royce. I probably said that wrong as well. Of a player, as you can see on here, he got an 8 rating, but he oozes class. He's finally showing the potential that he was shown at Atletico Madrid. And obviously, he came with his injuries in the first season. It's his 3rd season now, and he's finally showing the potential that everyone could see it at Atletico Madrid. And when you come with a knock and in the Premier League, such a fast-paced division, it's difficult to sort of get to the pace, get the pace back. And I think with Xhaka in a more advanced role, with Thomas Partey as that CDM, he oozes class, like I said. And I think that it's only going to get better for him. I think if he can stay fit, this Arsenal team, I don't want to say will win the league. Should I say will win the league? If he gets injured, they won't win the league. Essentially, that's essentially it. If he goes away for 3 months, Xhaka's in that position, and you just don't rely on him in that position. He's found his feet in a more advanced role. Where he was at a team, I forgot where he came from. I had it in my head as well. Was it Gladbach? I think it was Gladbach. Let me just quickly check. Oh, this is not great. I do apologise, Xhaka. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was Gladbach. Okay. I'll keep that in his career. But yeah, you don't really want him in a CDM role anymore. You want him in a more advanced role. And I think that this right now is perfect for him. But yeah, Arsenal, class as ever this season. And I'm not the biggest fan of Arsenal fans online, not just Arsenal Fan TV. Actually, Arsenal Fan TV are fine, but I think that because they've not really done much and they still have a big voice, I don't really think that they necessarily can have that big voice because they've got nothing to back it up with. But this season they do, and fair play to you. Hats off to the Arsenal fans. And after the last 16 years, this is the best team since the Invincibles era, and you fully deserve it. Obviously, as such a big team, you don't like to see a team falter away for that long. It's a bit like United in 5 years' time. If they're still in that position that they are right now, you sort of want them to have at least half a season where they're doing okay, like Arsenal right now. But we are nearly 1/3 of the way through the season, and my God, it feels like I've aged about 3 years in one month. But if you guys that haven't already, please can you go and subscribe? I do appreciate all the subscriptions I'm getting, which isn't many, but it's fine. I just do it for the love of the game. Obviously, Arsenal are flying. You don't see Liverpool on that list, which is surprising as well. We could talk about that another day. Arsenal fans, how you think this season's going to go? Do you think you're going to win it? Where do you think you're going to finish? Please like and comment below. Any thoughts on this video? Just a little. I say a little quick one every time. It's 10 minutes. It's the same thing. I think it's just like some of it comes out of my head. A bit more of a rambling thing, but I just want a bit more casual than the last one where it's top 5, a lot more scripted. But I will be producing more stuff like that, as well as the Calendon podcast, which is coming out on Friday this week. And I will see you guys soon. So cheers. Bye.